Hi, everyone. My name is Joe Sergi, and this is the 14th module and the final module of my self-help kit on the happy life. This is the audio-visual component of module 14. For more detail, you could read the script version of this module on Michael's website. The title of this module is Balance. Again, balance. Let's start out with a story about Mary. Mary feels very good about her family life, which is essentially determined mostly by family events that are all positive. Moderately negative about her work life, determined by moderately negative and very negative events at work. And very negative about her leisure life, again determined by leisure events that have generated intense negative feelings. So the principle of balance holds that subjective well-being can be enhanced by balancing the life domains. This means to experience a balance between positive and negative affect within and between life domains. Let me repeat. This means to experience a balance between positive and negative affect within and between life domains. Balance within a life domain is achieved by experiencing both positive and negative events. Positive events serve a what we call reward function. Again, positive events serve a reward function. Goals are attained and resources are acquired. In contrast, negative events serve a motivational function. They lead the person to recognize problem and opportunities for further achievement and growth. Balance across life domains can be achieved through compensation, a principle described in some detail previously in module 6, precisely. That is, increasing the salience of positive life domains compensates for the salience of negative life domains. And conversely, increasing the salience of negative life domains compensate for positive life domains. Specifically, increasing the salience of negative life domains motivates individuals to pay greater attention to those domains. Increasing the salience of negative life domains prompts the individual to take corrective action in those domains. The goal here is to decrease negative valence of beliefs related to one's evaluation of the totality of a negative life domain. Going back to Mary, Mary achieves balance by increasing the salience of both family life and leisure life. Increasing the salience of leisure life motivates Mary to engage in activities that elicit positive feelings in that domain. However, increasing the salience of a negative life domains, such as leisure life, would generate more dissatisfaction than satisfaction with life overall. Hence, to avoid experiencing dissatisfaction below an intolerable level, Mary has compensated by increasing the salience of family life, from which she experienced much joy. Thus, balance is achieved within the three life domains: family, work, and leisure. Balance is also achieved within the leisure and work domains by engaging in leisure and work activities resulting in positive affect. Suggestive evidence for the viability of the principle of balance lies in the yin-yang concept, which is popular in East Asian cultures. The yin-yang concept posits that subjective well-being can be achieved by maintaining a balance between positive and negative emotions. The adage, is to remain calm, undisturbed, and unaroused. Thus, the yin and yang are balanced between fulfillment of physical and spiritual needs. East Asian culture holds that positive events, such as achievement and success, may generate envy in others and criticism for showing off. Conversely, negative events may not be perceived all that bad. Negative events offer an opportunity for learning and personal growth. Thus, one can argue that the notion of yin and yang promotes balance within life domains. People are encouraged to seek balance in their lives by turning the bad into good, or simply by accepting the good with the bad, the positive with the negative, and success with failure. So we can capture this discussion through the principle of balance within life domains. So we can say balance within a life domain enhances subjective well-being over the long term. Balance within a life domain involves actions that balance positive and negative events in that domain. The advice one can take from the principle of balance within life domains is simple. Accept a little humility in your life. Do not shy away from making mistakes. Mistakes can be a source of strength. You can learn from these mistakes to continue to grow. Mistakes highlight opportunities for growth. Mistakes can, offer challenges for future. Conquests and goal achievement, on the other hand, provide you with food that nourishes your soul. These personal triumphs help you give meaning to your past, savor them, indulge in your accomplishments and appreciate them. Therefore, accept the good with the bad and acknowledge your successes while considering your failures. Savor the good things that happen to you and plan the future by learning from your tumbles and falls. Do this with a sense of purpose and balance. Balance is important because if you dwell on your failures, the future may look all gloom and doom. And if you only dwell on the successes, you may cease to grow. Balance gives you a reason to hope for a future that continues to bring meaning to your life. With respect to balance between life domains, research shows that people are more satisfied with life when satisfaction comes from multiple domains rather than from a single one. For example, when people are asked to discuss others' life satisfaction, most infer it as a direct function of their satisfaction across multiple domains. They tend to calculate happiness by averaging the satisfaction across several important domains. Additionally, research shows that those who believe that they will achieve some of their goals and derive satisfaction from multiple domains tend to report higher levels of life satisfaction than those who do not. Again, we can capture this discussion through the principle of balance between life domains. So remember, the other principle is the principle of balance within life domains. This is the principle of balance between life domains. And we can state the following. Balance between life domains enhances subjective well-being. Balance involves increasing the salience of both positive and negative life domains. Increasing the salience of a negative domain heightens motivation to take future action to increase satisfaction in that domain. In contrast, increasing the salience of positive life domains generates more positive affect to compensate for the increased negative affect resulting from the increased salience of the negative life domain. This strategy has several implications. First, the strategy implies that putting all your eggs in one basket may not be effective in enhancing subjective well-being. That is, one should not allow one or two life domains to overwhelm one's satisfaction or dissatisfaction with life. It is best to be invested emotionally in several domains. Doing so allows one to compensate for dissatisfaction in some domains with satisfaction in others. Consider the story of Elizabeth. Elizabeth placed her energy into caring for her children. She did not do anything significant in terms of leisure and recreation. She saw very few adult friends, although they were very important to her at one point in her life. In other words, she placed all her emotional eggs in one basket, the basket of the family life. This is a dangerous strategy because if things go wrong in Elizabeth's family life, she's likely to sink into depression. This is exactly what happened. She overinvested in family life. To overcome this problem, Elizabeth should establish some meaningful goals and priorities in her life. She should draw a pie chart of her life. Overall happiness is the pie composed of slices. Some slices are larger than others because they are more important. She should consider all areas of her life: family, work, social, financial, spiritual, residential, health and safety, etc. She should draw a picture of what areas seem to dominate her life most. And in other words, where is most of her time and mental energy is going? If the picture drawn turns out to be a pie with one or two life domains, for example, family life, she should do some soul searching and develop a new pie that reflects her new priorities about what she wants out of life. The goal here is to clarify her life goals and priorities. Following this exercise, she should select a small handful of goals she considers most important. In the script version of this module, I discuss factors affecting balance. These factors include the satisfaction quota, aggregation, and satisfaction efficiency. Let me repeat: satisfaction quota, aggregation, and satisfaction efficiency. To know more about balance and the factors affecting balance, please read the script located on Michael's website. And that's it. That's the end of the last module, module 14. And again, let me repeat, if you'd like to learn more about the principles underlying these 14 different modules, then yeah, read the script version. It has much more detail about the underlying principles and the factors affecting those principles. Happy reading if you're going to go down that road. Okay, bye for now.